Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a special evening edition of Spotlight Tuesdays. Come on in this evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As you come in, let me know that you are here so I can greet you if you so desire. As you come in, let me know that you're watching. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's talk. Good evening, Sharon. Thank you so much for joining. I see more people coming in. As you come in, let me know that you are here this evening. Thank you so much for joining for the special evening edition of Spotlight Tuesdays with me, yours truly, Coach BJ. I have a special announcement. I kind of did a precursor on Sunday, but I really want to share my new and exciting program, Path to Purpose. So as you come in, please go ahead and hit the share button to share it with your social media networks. And as you come in, let me know that you are joining so I can say hello. Good evening to everyone. I see the numbers are coming in. Good evening, Z. Thank you so much for joining. Good evening, Deborah. Thank you so much for joining and being here. Good evening. I'm just going to wait see if I see a few more people come on, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. I never want to belabor the time, but I'm so excited. I just want to get as many people on here before I begin tonight, because typically it's just kind of opening up the normal way. Good evening, Sharon. Another Sharon. Thank you for joining. My other Sharon. Thank you for joining. And so I just wanted to kind of get a few people on before I get started. Please share. Good evening, Drea. Thank you for joining. Please share this with your network. Mom, thank you for joining. I see you on. Please share with your social media networks as you come on. I really want everybody to hear this announcement. And even if they can't hear it in real time, I really want them to hear the replay. This is a special word tonight. Again, it's going to be talking about my Path to Purpose program. So again, please share with your social media networks. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. We have quite a few people on right now, so I'm going to go ahead and get started so I don't belabor the time. So again, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. And I wanted to start off this. Of course, I'm going to be talking about my Path to Purpose program this evening. It's actually a program that I've been working on for the last couple of months, and really just have been a culmination of things I've been working on. And I really realized this is the direction that I will be going moving forward. So I really wanted to share this exciting program with you all. And so the first question I really want to ask everyone that's on here, and you can either put it in a chat. I'm going to start off with two questions, and just stick with me because it's going to make more sense further down the line. But just if you want to put it in the chat, great. If you just want to think about the question, that's fine as well. But the first question I want to ask you is that how much time in a day or a week do you set aside time for prayer, meditation, journaling, and self-care? So if you want to put it in the chat, put it in the chat. If you want to just, think about it, just hold that number in your head, because I'm going to have you do another number as well, but hold that number in your head. So how much time in a day or in a week do you set aside to pray, to meditate, journaling, or self-care? Just wanted to kind of get those numbers. Good evening, everyone that's still joining as you come on. Thank you so much for being here. And so I see no one wants to put that in the chat, and that's okay. So the next question I want to ask is, and keep this number in your head, how many hours in a day of the week do you spend at work? And so that's the next question I want you to think about. So as you're thinking about both of those questions, I want to go back to the first question. And when I ask how much time in a day or a week do you spend praying, meditating, journaling, and doing self-care? And I ask that question is because a lot of times what comes out of that time, and you can share in the chat if you wish to let me know that typically what comes out of that time is fresh ideas, rejuvenation, freedom. You just feel so many great things coming out of self-care or journaling or meditating or traveling or whatever you do to kind of relax and get away and kind of unwind, right? And so typically, that's not a lot of time because people get limited amount of time of vacation. People maybe take one day a week or so for self-care, or and people do pray and meditate and journal a little bit more than that. But it's still not majority of the time that you spend. But the thing about it is that, again, typically there's a lot of great things that come out of that. Again, rejuvenation, you feel refreshed, new ideas come out of that particular time. But on the other hand, when you begin to look at how many hours in a day, a week you spend at work, for the average person, that's typically about, you know, Deborah, you said not enough. Exactly. But when you look at your work schedule, you look at your hours at work, that's more like what, 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week. For some people, that's even more, right? Depending on what type of work you do and what type of job do you have, that's more time, right? It's more time spent at work. But what comes out of work though? So let's look at some of the things that typically come out of work, and feel free again to put in the chat what comes out of 40 to 50 hours or more you spend working. If you're an entrepreneur, a lot of times it could be more than that, depending on, your workload. But what typically comes out of that is lack of motivation. A lot of times, most people hate the environment that they're working in. They feel like the people there are toxic. They don't like their coworkers half of the time. And a lot of times, they don't even really like their boss. They don't like the very person they're taking direction from. And a lot of that has to do with either, boss has this, pompous attitude and feel like I'm a leader, you're a servant, so you do what I say. And then on the other hand, it could be where you feel like I'm more experienced, I'm more qualified to be a leader over this team or this group. And this person is a moron, or this person don't know what they're talking about, right? And so typically, there's not a lot of good things that come out of being at work a lot of times, depending on what you do. If you're not happy with what you do, typically those are the things that come out of, not being happy at work. Would you agree? So now, from those two responses, if you really think to yourself, where would you like to spend most of your time? Would it be more on the being free? Would it be more self-care, traveling, meditation, journaling, and praying? Or would it be more in a 40, 50, 60-hour job that of course, I know a lot of us, we have to, of course, but in those environments that are just not conducive to what you are purposed to do in life? So which one would you like to do? And hello for everybody that's still coming in. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here. And for those of you who are just coming in, I'm talking about my Path to Purpose program. And right now, I'm just giving some thought-provoking questions to you guys who are viewing this evening to really think about what would you like to spend more of your time? So I'll post a question about, journaling, meditation, praying, traveling, self-care really lends more of rejuvenation, lends more to fresh ideas, being motivated, love being in that space, feeling free. On the other hand, when you're working a job that you don't like, you don't care for, you're just there for the money, you're there because you have to pay your bills, then you're typically not motivated. You typically hate the people you work with. The people are toxic. A lot of times you're more experienced than your superiors, so it's very frustrating, right, to be on that end of the spectrum. So I'm sure being motivated, being creative, developing new ideas, and, how you can make your life better is where most of us, would love to be. We would love to be in that environment versus, the latter, in an environment that's not really conducive to, what we're supposed to be doing in life, right? So the funny thing about that is that we spend so much of our time in those environments, but we never take the time to really step back and really look and see, what should we be doing? A lot of times we get comfortable in those spaces, again, because of the money, because of what we have to do. But we don't take the time to really figure out, how can we grow? How can we, get out of this situation? How can we, do some of the things that we really feel like we were meant to do? And, we definitely desire to be free. We definitely desire to be motivated. We desire to change the world. We desire to live out our dreams. We desire to create new ideas. These are the things that we desire to do. However, we typically spend more time again in the weeks doing the things that's not moving us any closer to our goals and our dreams. And if you notice, when you're in that perpetual cycle, year after year, day after day, month after month, again, once you're in a perpetual cycle, a lot of times we just stay in it because we think there's no other way out. So we just typically stay in it. And so Angel says, I want to be free of everything about my 9 to 5 toxic, definitely blessed to have it. Absolutely. Right. We're definitely blessed with the source that God has given us to make income. Right. But a lot of times where we're placed or where we decide to go is not really intended for us to stay. Right. We need to find out if it's beginning to feel uncomfortable, if it's toxic, if it's not allowing you to really create and develop and think about new fresh ideas that's going to help you live a fulfilling life, then more oftentimes than not, that's really not a place that you want to be. And unfortunately, we spend a lot of times waiting for 40, 50 hours a week or more, every week doing something that we don't want to do. And we live for the weekend. Everybody can't wait to Friday. Oh, I just can't wait to the weekend. And then on the latter hand, you dread Mondays. You dread going in because, I'm going to have to spend another week doing this all over again. And so it's just kind of like, how do you, get out of that cycle? How do you desire to make your life better? And so how do you develop new ideas, and how do you invent something amazing, or just simply take a break from the social norms, and live the life you were meant to live? How do you do that? So first we have to begin to think differently about our life. That's the first step. We have to think differently about our life, where we spend our mental and physical time and energy. That's the first thing we have to do. Really count up the cost. Just look over your week and really think about, what do you spend majority of your time doing? Of course you work, but even outside of work, when you get off work, what do you spend most of your time doing? Is it binge watching on TV? Is it, again, spending time with people that's not moving you forward? That's the first thing that I want you to think about, is to think about how much time and energy you are investing in things that's not moving you closer and closer to your goals, right? We want a better life. We want to be great. We want to evolve. We want to have a life fulfilled. But again, look at where you're spending your time and your energy at, again, when you do have the free time, what are you doing with that free time? So that's the first question you want to ask yourself when you're looking to, think differently, right? You want to first think, where am I spending my time and energy? Because believe it or not, we were born to create. We were born to create. We were born for a specific and unique purpose. We were not designed to do everything, and we weren't designed to be everything to everyone. We were meant to dominate and thrive in an industry that we were planted, or one that we were called to. Sometimes we're thrown into industries or thrown into situations, but we were meant to dominate those industries. We were meant to stand out, right? Not try to fit in. And a lot of times we spend a lot of our life and a lot of our time in jobs, we're always trying to fit in or get to the next level, and so we try so hard, but it doesn't feel right. And the reason why it doesn't feel right is because you weren't meant to fit in, you were meant to stand out. And if that's an industry that you're not feeling great in, and if it's an industry that you feel like you're not dominating, or that your genius is not showing up, then that means that you need to take a step back and again, start thinking about what can I do to be better? What can I do, right? And so when I say you have a unique gift or unique purpose that you bring to this world, I'm talking about like your DNA, or like the fingerprints on your hand, right? We all have unique fingerprints. We all have a unique DNA that is specifically for us. If anyone was ever looking for us, they will be able to identify us through our fingerprints, through our DNA. They will be able to identify us that way. And your purpose and your gift is the same way. You are uniquely designed and purposed to do something specific for this world. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying your purpose may not align with someone else's purpose. I'm not saying that at all, because there are tons of people that are in the same circles, the same industries. But you have to realize that you are uniquely designed to bring out something different, meaning that you will draw a different set of people than your counterpart that's in the industry. Look at how many doctors that are out there in the field, right? Look how many doctors, but we have our choice, right? And so something about particular people in particular industries draw us to them, right? Or draw us to specific products. So for instance, when you go shopping, let me just say this. So when you're looking at food, there are several brands for you to choose from, right? It doesn't mean that they're not meant to be on the shelf. You just have several brands to choose from. So what's going to draw you to that brand typically is it's a brand that's familiar to you. So it's a brand that your parents might have bought growing up, and that's something that you're used to eating, right? A certain brand. And as you grow older and grow up, you're stuck with that certain brand. That's the brand that you like. That's the brand that you're going to get. That's the brand that you're used to. So you're drawn to that. Or it may be something later on in life that somebody told you about and you gravitated to, something different. But it's something about that that's going to draw you to that brand. And then, something else. You think about the clothes that you wear. There are several designers out there, right? But a lot of the designers that are out there, they make different pattern clothes. They make different type of clothing. But the person that's buying those clothes, when you go out, to these department stores, all of these designers are competing for you to come and look at their brand, to buy their brand. But guess what? You individually are going to uniquely buy clothing or a brand that suits your lifestyle or suits, the way you like to look, right? And so everybody have their set things. Some people like name brands. Some people like to do thrifting. Some people like to, do very, many things. They like to just look a certain way. So that's what they're going to be drawn to. So the same thing with your unique gift. Just because there's multiple people in the same industry that you're in, it doesn't mean you can't stand out. You still have something unique to bring. Okay. And the second thing I'll say when it comes to your unique gift and purpose is that it's designed to solve a problem in the industry, answer the call to someone's prayer. It could be to help a community group or a specific group of people, or even it could be something as solving a global situation. You never know what your purpose or what your gift in this world is designed to do. And I know with some of those things, when I say unique gift or purpose, and I mention those things and what it is I know for some, you may think, that just sounds too big. That's over my head. I mean, I have no idea what can be done with my skill set or my education or my experience. I don't know if I can impact the world or impact the community or impact, a set of people with what I know. Right. And I know a lot of times that's what scares us from trying to think about it, to even go after it. We think it's too big. We think our dreams are just gone. They have died. Right. And they haven't. Right. But it goes back to how I started, the live when I said, pretty much how much time are you setting aside? How much intentional time are you setting aside to focus on your dreams, to focus on your purpose, or to focus on your goals, or focus on that next big, great idea? How much time are you investing in doing that? Right? That's what you have to look at. And the activities that cause those great epiphanies and those self-revelations and the rejuvenation and those creative ideas, which is what I mentioned earlier about prayer and meditation and journaling and traveling and self-care. Those things really help you. Those things really help you to identify, some of those things, because you get to get away from your norm. Getting away from your 9 to 5 really help you be more creative. Getting away from your 9 to 5 really help you to come up with ideas, and you get to break free from your norm. But again, it's only temporary. So just think about this. What if you set aside time to intentionally focus on those things, right? And not just think that they can't happen, but why not try? Because your next great idea, your next great product, invention, your purpose, everything that I mentioned is a part of you solving a problem or developing something that will meet some type of need of the world's population of over 7.9 billion people as of 2021. There are over 7.9 billion people in this world as of this year. So you have an impact that you can make on the world right now. You have an impact, and you have a gift that's designed to solve a problem or help someone in need. You may just need to be more intentional about the things that I mentioned, but if you think about it and look at the things that we are intentional about, guess what we're intentional about? We're intentional about the kind of car that we want. So what do? We go and price it. We save the amount of money that we need to save for that car that we want. And we like, yes, right? Something that's going to depreciate. Then the next thing, we look at a house, and a house does appreciate. Absolutely. We're very intentional. We're going to make sure our credit is great. We're going to make sure that we have the amount of money we need, to apply for a mortgage. We're going to make sure that we're living in the right area, right? We're intentional about that. We're even intentional about our grocery list every week. We know what we want to buy. We know what we want to cook. We're intentional about our grocery list and what we're going to eat, right? That's for survival. I get it for sure. For those of us that's, that comes out of high school, we're intentional about, we want a degree, we want to become this, we want to become that, right? We know what degree or education, path we want to take, and for those of us that's been in the workforce, for a long time, guess what? We're always trying to compete for the next job or the next pay grade. So we're intentional about, we're going to get our resume together. We're going to make sure that our interview skills are brushed up to try to compete for this probably one job that 10 or 15 people are trying to go after, right? So again, we're very intentional. So all that energy and time we put into some of those things, a lot of times those things will never bring us closer to our destiny and where we're purposed to live. Purpose to be. It will never bring us closer. It will never bring us closer to our destiny. And so what we need to focus on, is having a life fulfilled. Again, that next big idea. And you've been putting your dreams off for way too long now. And it's really time. It's 2021. It's really time for you to really get clear and really understand the path that you were meant to be on. And you know what is the really sad thing, as I'm talking about this and I think about it, is that so many people, unfortunately, leave this earth and die with their gift and purpose right along with them. That the world will never benefit from their gifts or their purpose. And a lot of times it's because they either didn't know, what their purpose was. They didn't know the how. They didn't know the how about going about looking to see, how can I live a fulfilled life? I just believe it's hard out here. This is what we're supposed to do, just work and just retire and this is just what life is supposed to be about. A lot of them, might not have known where to start or how to seek life or look at their freedom, look at fulfillment and joy and wealth, everything that a purpose brings. They just didn't take the opportunity to think about that. Those who have left this world with their gift with them. And we never had an opportunity to see what the great invention was going to be or what, that would look like, and I would hate, for you to do the same and leave this world and rob a generation of your gift and your purpose to fulfill, and this is why I am so happy and I'm so passionate. And most people who follow me or have followed me, I'm so passionate about people really discovering and manifesting their God-given gift and talent that they have, and not go on thinking that, this somber life or this ordinary life or this life where I got to work hard and never get nothing out of life is going to be. It's not supposed to be like that, right? You were born to create, you were born to develop, you were born to invent and thrive in this life, right? It's not about waiting till a later time. And so that's why I'm so happy to share the program that I developed called Path to Purpose. And this initial 5-day challenge is going to help you really make room for the things you want out of life. It's going to help you create a life you get to live every day versus one you have to live, right? And a lot of us, we feel like, I just have to live this life versus waking up every day like I get to live this life. A lot of my clients, they joke and they laugh at me. They was like, you're always so excited about coming to our coaching sessions and doing these things, or just people I talk to in general, they're just like, you're always so, you're so happy and you're always so, this, but it's because I get to live the life that I live every day, doing the very thing that I love. I love helping people. I love coaching people. I love this industry. I love doing what I do, right? And, this program is also going to help you get clarity and discover the framework and mindset on how to start, right? Some things that people aren't ever taught, to really get clarity and really discover the framework on how to even start. Because some people may know what they want to do. They may know what they're good at, but they just don't know, what do I do, where to go? Sometimes all we need to do is just start, right? That's the first thing. The first hump to get over is just to start. Right? The second thing is to make a commitment. You have to make a commitment to any process, anything that you do. Earlier, I said you make a commitment to saving money to buy a car. You make a commitment to doing everything else you want to do. Make a commitment to yourself. Bet on you. Make a commitment to you, right? The second thing would be to be consistent. The second thing is to be consistent. A lot of times we will start stuff, but we fall off some kind of way. Something is just not there, right? But be consistent. And the third thing that's really important is to follow through to the end. Follow through to the end. Do not follow through with your path to the end, right? And to make this initial 5-day challenge easy for you, I have combined research, my real life coaching sessions I do with my clients, my education, and even courses that I've taken to even hone my own skills and to even make it better for me, where I have created short videos for you to watch every day at your leisure. They will be released every day and you'll be able to watch them at your leisure. Every day, I want you to commit to doing a short coaching exercise, ones that I use in my coaching practice that will be associated with whatever the content or the topic was for that day. So, and then lastly, you guys will meet me each evening in our private Facebook group and live for Q&A and support, right? So it's just not going to be something you're going to be out there doing on your own. I'm going to give you those live Q&As and support to be able to see, what did you think about that? How did that exercise impact you? What did you get out of it, right? To be able to answer those questions or questions that you may have further, right? I can be right there to answer them for you. And we'll be on every evening. And so your commitment for the 5 days, again, is 3 easy steps. Will help you kickstart your path to purpose without this feeling just like something that you're doing again. Because a lot of times people just want you to do stuff for the sake of doing it, right? This information is going to be short, sweet, and to the point, but very impactful. Again, in addition to your 40 to 50 hours a week, I don't want to add anything else on you. I want to make it where it's something that you're really thinking about and you really are focused on and really just like, wow, this is really great. This is really something that is making a difference and making a change. And I truly believe my 5-day challenge is going to be the very thing, that does that for you. And so I'm letting everybody know that registration is now open for the 5-day Path to Purpose Challenge. And I just wanted to come on and give you some insight this evening about, to really get you thinking, where are you in life currently? And you could be someone that's very happy, right now with what you got going on. You just got a new great job. You just got, you're into whatever, and that's great. And again, just like I said, everybody's in this industry, and my Path to Purpose Challenge may not be for everybody, may not be for you. But what I would ask you to do is, even if you feel like, I'm good. I'm happy with my life. I don't need to find my path. That's great. But what I would ask you to do is to share it with someone, right? Who may have come to you and just said, what, I'm lost. I really need to figure it out. You'll be surprised how many people that are doctors and lawyers or people that have great jobs and make great money and still lost. And the reason why they're still lost is because they are still not doing what they have been born and created and designed to do, right? Or you may look at people who have a great, fulfilling, thriving career and they walk away from it and they do something, start a nonprofit or community service, which is a great thing. But other people is like, well, how can you leave this great job or leave this great company or, leave this amount of money on the table to go do that, right? And the problem with that is that we put status on things. We think a doctor is greater than a janitor, or we think, a teacher is greater than being a maid, or, we always put these levels on jobs saying that what is better than the other. But just like your gift, nothing is better. It's just uniquely different, and you're serving a different purpose. And even if you take just that one comment away and think about what you do, then I think you will begin to feel better about what you do. Because a lot of times the things that get us down is the very thing about how people judge what we do or feel like, again, their job is better than yours, or because I have a degree or this type of degree, or I have my doctorate, or I'm this or I'm that. Again, titles that they feel like they're somehow better, and you feel somehow less than because of what they have. But nobody is greater than the other, right? Your success is your success. And your personal journey is your personal journey. It's how you measure success, not how the world measures success, not how social media measures success, but it's how you yourself personally measure success and what that looks like for you. So again, nobody's job is better. Again, it's just uniquely different. Everybody is different. So again, I want to share that registration is now open for the 5-day challenge, which is going to be August 9th through the 13th. And the cost for the challenge is $27. It's a 5-day challenge. And yes, there is a cost. I did not want to get on here. I wanted to be transparent with you about there is a cost, because I know there's a lot of challenges and a lot of things that people throw out on social media that are considered free. And you might say to yourself, why isn't it free, Coach BJ? Because research have shown that when you don't invest in yourself and have some level of some skin in the game, you're less likely to be consistent. The very thing you want to be, you're less likely to be consistent. You're less likely to follow through. So this little investment that I'm charging is really more about you. It's more about holding you accountable to something that you say that you want to do if this is a good fit for you. And the insight you're going to gain from this challenge is invaluable. That $27 is nowhere near what the value of the information that you're going to receive is worth. Nowhere near the value. And I'm not going to even put a value on. I know people try to put value on stuff to try to gimmicks, to try to show their worth. But you know what? I'm not going to do that because it's not necessary. I just want you to believe in yourself. I want you to invest in yourself. And I want you to be true to yourself. So again, I know this is not going to be for everybody, and that's okay. But I am called to help the people who want to move to the next level in their life, to really discover what their path to purpose is, and to help them on that journey to become clear to a truly fulfilled life. So I have on the screen the registration link. It is open for registration for you to go ahead and register. It's going to allow you to go ahead and give you more details about go ahead and requesting your Facebook sign-in information, providing your email address. So there's going to be some things you can get started on with right now. I know the challenge is still a couple of weeks away, but go ahead and register. Again, it's the Path to Purpose. I have the link on here. And I just wanted to see before I get off here, does anyone have any questions? I thank you guys for your consistent time and attention tonight. You guys have been great. I appreciate you joining me tonight. But that's what I wanted to come on and share. I'm very excited about this. This is my passion. This is my purpose, to help you get clear on what you were designed to do. I'm very clear on what my mission and my goal and my passion is. And I want you to be just as confident as I am, because that's where you're also going to see your confidence shine. You're going to see yourself standing out. You're going to see yourself thriving, because you are very confident and clear about the direction you're supposed to go in life. So is there any questions about the program? Do you have any questions for me before we get off the live? You have the registration information on the screen. Over the next couple of weeks, for those of you who follow me on social media, you will continue to see more advertising, more things about the Path to Purpose to come. So, and again, share this live with someone who could benefit, who could really benefit from this challenge. And again, thank you guys for joining. I don't see any questions, so thank you guys for joining. The links are on there. The replay will still be here if you want to come back and listen again, or share it with someone to listen again. But I thank you guys so much for watching. I look forward to seeing your names. I see your names on here a lot. Everybody on here I know. And I just thank you for joining. So again, if you feel led that this is the next step for you, then I look forward to seeing you in the challenge beginning on August the 9th. Thank you guys so much for watching this evening, and you have a blessed evening. Bye.